A new villain joins the fray. Black Panther's war of attrition against Moon Knight becomes more complicated as Wakanda's defense must become two-pronged. Plus, T'Challa discovers vibranium in his blood, bringing with it even more visions and more mystery. Ultimate Black Panther Volume 1, Issue 11. A diabolical genius known as the Maker created his ideal Earth by systematically preventing anyone from ever becoming a superhero. To rule his perfect Earth, he placed supervillains in charge of different regions, and together the Maker's Council quietly orchestrated the history of the world. Among them are Ra and Khonshu, who oversee Africa, all but the impenetrable isolated kingdom of Wakanda. But when Ra and Khonshu planted an assassin within Wakanda's borders, King T'Challa was forced to send the kingdom into war. The war has raged for months. Khonshu has built an army that worships him as a god, calling himself Moon Knight, and he's empowered them with an element that counters vibranium. That same element was forged into a dagger that brutally wounded Black Panther, leaving him with strange dreams and stranger behavior. While Storm and Killmonger are on a covert diplomatic mission, Moon Knight presses forward. The ultimate Sorcerer Supreme is currently journeying back to Wakanda alongside Killmonger and Storm, though she has not yet arrived. Meanwhile, in Africa, the impending war between T'Challa and Khonshu looms closer. A notable quote from the Sorcerer Supreme highlights her belief that magic is a science people don't fully understand. She acknowledges her small place within the fabric of the universe, demonstrating both humility and a profound understanding of her limitations. As Sorcerer Supreme, her respect for the greater power she wields allows her to use it wisely and to her advantage, a stark contrast to T'Challa's current path. T'Challa has exhibited pride and ignorance rather than humility and understanding required to truly grasp the nature of vibranium, and the new element Khonshu has turned against him. As the Sorcerer Supreme makes her way to the battlefield, her role in the unfolding conflict remains unclear. What part will she play in this puzzle, and what are her true motives? We return to Africa, where one of Moon Knight's generals awaits to present an offer to T'Challa. However, instead of Wakanda's king arriving, Shuri steps forward in his place. The general views this as a sign of T'Challa's fear and reluctance to meet him directly. The Moon Knight general comments, "We expected the king of Wakanda." Shuri, unfazed, responds, "You have his blood. That will be good enough for you today. You wanted to talk, so talk." The general acknowledges her strength, saying, "Your strength is recognized, King's sister. I bring you no violence today." He then explains that Moon Knight has a proposal for Wakanda, a peace offering. Shuri warns him to tread carefully and not to attempt anything foolish. When the general arrogantly questions why he should be cautious, boasting of his army, Shuri calmly reveals that she is not alone. The Dora Milaje appear from the shadows, ready to face Moon Knight's forces. The general tries to assure her that his intentions are diplomatic, offering to split the territory between Khonshu, Ra, and Wakanda, allowing West Africa to choose its alliance. He proclaims his support for democracy, but Shuri immediately sees through the deception. She knows Khonshu has been using mind control to turn people into loyal soldiers and performing false miracles to manipulate civilians into believing he is a god. Shuri is fully aware that this democracy would be nothing more than a rigged farce. The general continues, "Wakanda has a nation of isolation. You do not care about the fate of the regions beyond your borders. It wasn't until you learned of the sun's knowledge of Khonshu and Ra that you acted. Your brother is driven by pride, Princess Shuri. I had hoped you could see beyond it. Even if the peace offers were genuine, Shuri knows it would only benefit Khonshu and Ra, granting them more territory and positioning them for a future attack on Wakanda. She refuses the offer, exposing its flaws and declaring, 'You have brainwashed villages, enslaved their people, and forced them into this madness by pretending to be a god. There will only be peace when you leave this land or when you are driven from it.'" The general admits he had hoped Shuri would adopt a different stance from T'Challa, but she stands firm. She makes it clear that Wakanda will not yield to threats or lies. War is inevitable if Khonshu and his forces persist. The general, realizing her resolve, says, "So Wakanda chooses war. Then I have a different offer to share. I suspect your king can see me now. Your technology aids it. Let me speak to him." T'Challa, watching from a distance, observes the unfolding confrontation. The Moon Knight general says, "There are ancient ways to settle conflicts, ways that do not have to involve the innocent or or those who serve either of our nations. Single combat. The Black Panther faces Moon Knight and the victor decides the fate of this land of vibranium of the future. Shuri responds, "You want to fight my brother?" The Moon Knight general replies, "My master wants to kill him, but he hides from his forces even as he knows. He does not understand. By bringing him or the power of Khonshu has found within, will the coward king face my master?" T'Challa, the Black Panther, says, "Yes." Later, back in the kingdom of Wakanda in the command center, Okoye says, "No, my king." The answer is no. T'Challa responds, "I can overtake him." Shuri interjects, "He wants a battle to the death." Black Panther replies, "I will be victorious. How he defies victory is up to him." Shuri, concerned, says, "Brother, you are not well." Black Panther insists, "I am a king and sound. Deliver the message to him and leave me." As Black Panther leaves, he heads to see Matron Imala, requesting to meet her alone. Okoye, watching his demure, says, "Clearly something is changing within him. I will explore theories." Shuri adds, "The wound, the vibranium, he's been obsessed with it, like an infection of the spirit of the... I think vibranium has its secrets. Okoye's secrets no generation has sensed or discovered. And now comes the part where I sound insane. What if vibranium has a conscience or something captured within it? What if it has given the rise to these two kingdoms and placed them in conflict like pawns? Perhaps that sounds absurd, but consider vibranium's role in past wars. Why? Because of what remains afterwards, whatever that might be." Shuri concludes, "In any case, we cannot let T'Challa accept this offer, but he cannot know we're trying to prevent it. This is not the same T'Challa we knew from the first Ultimate Black Panther issue. The vibranium has changed his views, his mind, and his very essence. Ever since he was stabbed with the knife with the mysterious element of Khonshu and Ra." As T'Challa heads out, he deactivates the tracking module. While making his way towards Matron Imalia, he reflects silently to himself, or perhaps it is the vibranium speaking through him. Isolation, that has been our way. All our traditions and principles have upheld it. But in leaving this vacuum, we allowed Moon Knight to step in, making people believe in him because he was present when we were absent. I rule a kingdom, a land where I'm a stranger. There is no time for kings. Kings do not bear the burdens of the world. They are shielded from it by pageantry, left ignorant and blind to what their people endure every day. Lost in thought, T'Challa suddenly stops when he sees a medical transport being intercepted and looted by mercenaries. The Black Panther intervenes to help the medical transport. One of the mercenary points a gun at T'Challa. Black Panther says, "They're moving medical supplies. Leave them be." The mercenary sneers and replies, "And who are you? Some local hero? Move along. That's the only warning I'm going to give you." Black Panther responds, "You think that gun protects you, don't you? You believe in it. Let's test your faith against my own." The mercenary smirks. "I think this one's on something. Watch the goods. I'll leave him in the dirt to scare the locals." The first mercenary opens fire on Black Panther, but T'Challa effortlessly evades every single bullet. He quickly disarms the mercenary with a precise move and headbutts him, incapacitating him. Suddenly, the situation becomes serious for the remaining mercenaries, who begin shooting at the Black Panther. T'Challa skillfully uses the disarmed bearded mercenary as a shield to protect himself from the incoming bullets. As the medical workers and relief personnel flee in panic, unaware of who the Black Panther is, they shout and refer to him as a lunatic. Enraged by the chaos and misunderstanding, the Black Panther hurls one of the mercenaries into another, knocking them both down. He then leaps on top of them, unleashing a series of powerful punches, grounding and pounding them with relentless force. As the Black Panther finishes off the last few mercenaries, he breaks an arm, breaks a leg, and knocks them unconscious before disarming all the guns. Turning to the medics and relief workers, he says, "You're safe now. You can come out." The medic says, "Please don't hurt us." The Black Panther responds, "Do I seem like I want to hurt you?" As he tosses the broken machine gun to the floor, one of the medics then notices his condition, says, "You're injured. Let me help you. It's what I do." Back in the camp, the medic is bandaging up the Black Panther. The medic says, "We work between the cities doing what we can. The locals don't want to change their ways. The cities don't want traditions interfering with their economics, and the mercenaries take whatever they can." The Black Panther asks, and the Black Panther? Does his efforts assist you? The medic responds, the Black Panther? Never heard of him. There's someone named Moon Knight, some kind of god. I don't really understand it, but some people believe in him. The medic continues, all I see are people caught in the middle of forces that don't seem to care much about what happens to them. A land of resources where no one cares about the people who call it home. These should help with the pain, but I shouldn't make a habit of attacking men with guns. As the Black Panther disappears, it's clear the medic's words have deeply moved him. The Black Panther contacts Shuri, who immediately questions, where are you? Your tracking device has been deactivated. The Black Panther replies, in the country where I should have been. The Black Panther declares, I will take Moon Knight's challenge. I will shame him, and then I will kill him. Shuri responds, is this your connection with the Vibranium speaking, or do you truly think that sounds like wisdom? The Black Panther replies, I think we have failed this region. I think there is so much more we need to do. I think Moon Knight was inevitable. We can't understand Vibranium until we first understand Africa. I want a detailed report, every criminal network, every humanitarian crisis, everything. Wakanda will be isolated no more. I will accept his challenge, and after a god is dead, it will be Wakanda that gives the people new belief. I'm coming home. The stage is set for the inevitable fight between the Black Panther and the Moon Knight, a battle for the fate of the continent of Africa. Ultimate Black Panther, Volume 1, Issue 12. Next.